Okay, so right now we're going to go ahead and discuss the addendums. So with the offer that we write up, we selected the HOA addendum and the VA addendum. I'm gonna go over those, and I'm also gonna go over the appraisal contingency addendum and other addendums as well. Okay, so the HOA addendum, usually we're representing the buyer. We're not gonna be, all the HOA information is not gonna be open to us, but what we will have is the name of the community. It's usually the first few words here, um, or sometimes, yeah, it's usually like this, the what the legal description says, like the first few um words. So we're gonna go ahead and put that Martini Battle Aces, and then we're also gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and see what the association fee is. It's $91 per month. So we're gonna go ahead and put 91. If there's any special assessments, um, or we could put that. Um, if there's a membership in the Mothers Association, we could also put that, but most of the time it's this generic one, just the HOA fee. Here the association approval is required. Most of the time it is required. If association approval of this transaction or buyer is required, the contract is contingent upon association approval no later than prior to closing. We usually put 1 day prior to closing just to give us enough time. And then with a blank after the effective date. So usually what we like to do is an association, to apply for an association, usually you have to pay a fee. So we like to do the inspection first. We like to get the inspection report out of the way first. And since we put, if let's say we put the inspection period 5 days, so we're gonna go ahead and this 7 days. We always like to give 2 more days for to submit the association application. Now, if we're the buyer's agent, we usually don't have um this in, well, we could go ahead and put $91 per month for HOA to mark the need for HOA. We could go ahead and put that, but usually the contact information, the listing agent will have it or should provide it. So we don't really do that unless we get one, we get an offer, and with this addendum, and then we have to go ahead and fill out this information right here. Oh, also right here, very, very important, we usually always put that the seller shall pay, no, sorry. Check really quick what was done for this one. There was actually nothing, but if there's any special assessments, usually just if we're representing our buyer, we usually like to put that the seller has to pay all the assessments in full before closing. Okay. Yeah, usually we put in seller has to pay the assessment in full um, before or at the time of closing, whatever. Now, if we receive an offer and we get this addendum, usually we have to fill this out with the property management, the association or the management company name, the contact person within the company, their phone number and their email. And then if possible, their website as well. So that's the HOA addendum. Now let's move on to the FHA and BA addendum. We're gonna go ahead and select whether it's FHA or BA. Really quick, let's double check here. Yeah, so in this case, we did it on the contract as if they were a VA financing. Normally we don't really put anything here, I guess, unless someone tells you to do so. So that's really just, you just check that box and then that's it. Send it for signature. Usually what's done is you select all documents, the offer and the addendums that go with the offer, and you go ahead and send all of those together for signature. It's usually not done separately. We're gonna go ahead and go over the appraisal contingency. This is basically saying when we're going to receive the appraisal, that it should be received before, on or before a certain date. And then we're gonna go ahead and put that it has to be at least a certain amount. If it's not that amount, then the buyer has the right to go ahead and get out of the contract. Well, there's different things that he can do, but yeah, it just depends what amount tells you to do, what amount he tells you to do, and yeah, just go ahead and do that. That's all you do for the appraisal contingency. Now we're gonna go ahead, and sometimes there's little things that are added to the contract, little addendums that are added afterwards. It could either be the addendum to contract or the or the extension addendum to contract. It's usually one of those two. So what the addendum to contract allows us to do is when he asks you like to create an addendum or create a blank addendum, it usually is. You're gonna put the number of the addendum, and let's say this is the first addendum you create, you're gonna put number 1. If it's the second addendum that you create, number 2, and stuff like that. And the effective date, the date that you're creating the addendum, and then you're gonna go ahead and write up anything that he tells you to do. And then if it's an extension or anything, like the closing date, for the financing period, for the inspection period, for the title cure period, for any of these cases, it's an extension for any one of these cases, then you can go ahead and use this addendum. And let's say we want to extend the closing date 5 more days than it was supposed to be. So you go ahead and you select the date that we want to extend it to, and yeah, that's it. That's it. You could really not use the extension addendum and just do it in a blank addendum and just put, oh, seller and buyer agree to extend closing date until this date. So yeah, that's also possible. And yeah, that's basically it on the addendum.